It's hard to remember a time when eating a lovely chicken supper wasn't an applicable celebration to achieving something great in life. Got a promotion? Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Filed your taxes on time? Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Cooked a lovely chicken dinner? Winner, winner. Hang on. While not the first of its kind, we've got PUBG to thank for the recent explosion of Battle Royale games. But if you are one of the millions of PUBG players out there, you may have noticed one teensy-weensy thing about it. It's hard as nails. That's where we come in with this list of PUBG tips to help you satisfy the hunger that we all share for poultry.
Thanks to randomised loot drops and save zones, there is no such thing as a perfect place to drop across any of PUBG's maps. Fail to land first in a busy area and you'll find all the good loot is gone, leaving you to battle with nothing but a crowbar and a newly soiled pair of Y-fronts for protection. Sexy. Once you know the flight path, open your map and pop a marker over the spot you want to loot. Eject at a sensible point, then hold W, aim at the sky and open your map again. Each of the small white squares on the map is 100 meters squared, and you can use this knowledge to place a marker that is roughly 300 meters from your chosen loot spot. Still with us? Good. When you hit this point, you need to aim straight down at the ground. This will push your drop speed to 234 kilometers per hour, which is so fast that your parachute will deploy later than other players, cutting your drop time even further. This is the fastest and most efficient way to drop in. Just be sure to start your fast descent with ample time to hit that perfect 234 kilometers per hour.
So you've dropped in ahead of everyone else, but now you're losing out to other players because you wasted a minute juggling ammo and attachments without actually picking up a weapon. Looting efficiently in PUBG comes with practice and experience. It's a lot easier to scour a building quickly if you know your favourite weapons and items. This means resisting the urge to press F over every object you want and instead hitting Tab. This will open up your inventory and show items on the ground that are nearby. Then simply drag these items direct to your inventory, skipping the agonisingly slow pickup animation.
Good loot is practically essential when it comes to winning a match of PUBG. The pump shotgun and pistol you grabbed from a shack before fleeing to the hills will not carry you very far. There are a few key items and weapons you will need in order to stand a chance of ever getting a chicken dinner. And it is worth investing the time looting and getting involved in gun battles in order to get them. In terms of weapons and attachments, an assault rifle or DMR with a 2x scope is the bare minimum. You'll also want armour and a good range of healing supplies. Bandages, first aid kits, painkillers, and even the odd energy drink. Even with all of these goodies, you might want to keep taking engagements and seeking out supply drops for the really good items, like 8x scopes, ghillie suits, and the AWM sniper rifle.
It would be a shame to gather up all of that lovely gear only to be consumed by the blue circle of death. As soon as a new play zone is revealed, you need to open up your map and see how far outside of it you are. If it'll take a few minutes to get there, then make sure that's your priority. The sooner you start moving, the more time you have for distractions like looting and taking pot shots at suspicious looking foliage. On the other hand, if the new play zone is nearby, then you're best off playing the border, biding your time and laying low, safe in the knowledge that very few enemies are going to be coming from behind you. If push comes to shove and you have to sprint in order to escape the circle, then whatever you do, stick to that plan. The player to your right might get a few hits in, but once they've realised death is closing in around them, they'll be forced to down tools and join you in the world's worst fun run. Don't forget that you can press the X key to holster your weapon, allowing you to sprint faster. Just don't forget to re-equip a weapon when you reach safety.
You've got the gear, you're in the safe zone, and you've got your crosshairs trained on an enemy's head. All that's left to do is squeeze the trigger and bask in the pink mist, right? Wrong. Just because you can claim a quick kill doesn't necessarily mean you should. Before initiating any engagement, you should take some time to survey the situation. Killing one player only to alert several others to your whereabouts is hardly worth it. In most cases, you are better off holding fire and letting other players do the killing for you. This way you get tipped off to any additional enemies so you can kill them and loot both bodies. Bargain.
Ah, the eternal debate. No, not Team Jacob versus Team Edward or Pepsi versus Coke. We're talking about third-person versus first-person perspective in PUBG. Put simply, third-person perspective always wins. This is because in third person, you can gain vital information without exposing any of your squishy human flesh to the enemy. You can watch a hapless foe run right past you from behind a tree, only to peek out and take them down before they've even figured out where you are. Of course, this can lead to a number of very unfair situations for attacking players, and even worse, awkward stalemates where both players refuse to leave their cover because they know they'll lose. If you want every engagement to be fair, you can always play on first-person servers. You fussy britches, you.
Struggling to hit distant targets? That's because PUBG features realistic bullet drop that is different for every weapon in the game. Adjusting your shots by aiming above your target is one method, but you'll need to be able to learn the vertical adjustments for every weapon and scope by heart. That takes hundreds of hours of experience, not to mention squandering a walk-in freezer's worth of chicken dinners in the name of practice shots. A much better method when starting out is to zero your scopes. Don't worry, it might seem like a highly advanced tactic, but it's really quite simple once you get used to it. For starters, go ahead and rebind your zeroing controls to T and G instead of the default bindings of page up and page down. This will make zeroing much easier to do on the fly. Next up is judging distance, which you can do easily with a combination of the minimap and any nearby landmarks. Your player icon on the map is always in the middle, while the borders of the minimap are always 200 meters away. So when you see an enemy near a shack at the border of your minimap, you know that they are roughly 200 meters away. All scopes come with a default zeroing distance of 100 meters, so simply increase the zeroing distance with one key press to account for the bullet drop.
It's fitting that in a game as serious and daunting as PUBG, one of the best things you can do is constantly wiggle around, all the time. Moving targets are very hard to hit in PUBG, and so by jittering around on the spot like you've just chugged a whole pot of coffee, you can ensure no enemy gets an easy shot on your vulnerable noggin.
So, you've managed to survive until the last handful of players, but in Battle Royale games there can only be one. The final circle is what forces that outcome. You will arrive at this point when the circle has shrunk to roughly 200 meters in diameter. It will shrink further and eventually close in completely, but this is when most players encounter difficulties with their strategy. Unless you are very comfortable taking on enemies, you will want to avoid opening fire until it's just you and one other player left alive. Of course, you should take the shot if it's life or death, but you'd be surprised by how much you can get away with during the final few circles if you just lay low. Kind of like the naughty kid at the back of the school bus. When it's just two left alive, PUBG turns into a game of chicken, where the first player to reveal themselves is as good as dead. Here, solid cover is everything, and the closer to the centre of the very last circle you can be, the better. A key tactic at this stage is forcing your enemy to abandon cover, which you can do better from the centre of the final circle. So, even if you take a couple of hits, getting to the best cover available is worth the sacrifice. Finally, make sure to keep some throwables handy, as this duel is all about wearing your foe down. This will lend you great advantage when you finally poke your head out from behind cover to take the killing shot.
And that's your lot. All the PUBG know-how you need to help you conquer every stage of this challenging battle royale. If you've got some essential PUBG advice we didn't cover, why not drop a comment below? As ever, if you found this informative, you can always give the video a like, share it with your friends or squad, and subscribe for more PC gaming guides just like this one. There's loads more PUBG content on PCGamesN.com as well, like a guide to the best weapons, how the crate system works, and how it stacks up on mobile, so head on over there for more.